You claim to hate capitalism, but you spend money on food. Interesting. First of all, I don't hate capitalism. My stance is often misinterpreted by people that watch my stream. I don't hate capitalism. I think of capitalism like a fucking, my example is always like a game, like a soccer game or something, where it's like, it works if the refs are there and do their job. And right now, the problem is the refs have been completely bought out and it's completely exploited. And so we don't even have capitalism. We have like crony capitalism. We have like there's a complete government capture on like everything. If it was just like, you know, like Coke or Pepsi, who makes the better fucking soda? I think that's great. That's competition. That's fine. Listen, in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, there was a lot of anti-monopoly rules within the system of capitalism. And it worked. And that was the biggest period of both economic and social growth, because marginalized groups started to get massive gains in wages. Starting with Ronald Reagan, really, like in the 80s, whenever they started destroying unions. Workers, in theory, have a lot of power, right? And if they had unions and things to better marshal that power, then capitalism works better because it's just people bargaining basically on the relative level of what they have. You should react to the anti-union videos Walmart has. Walmart hates unions. If Walmart even sniffs that a union is thinking about starting up, they will fucking burn the store to the ground. They will shut the entire fucking store down, raise it, fire everyone, rather than even think about giving them the chance to start a fucking movement. They'll do everything to stop it, but if they think it's going to start, they would rather lose the store than have a union succeed, because then it could spread to other stores. Dude, one of the worst examples of this that I'm talking about, of a government capture, I don't know if any of you live in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is just a random fucking city, but it's a rare example of one city that was like, hey, let's build our own internet. Let's make free high-speed internet for everybody. They did this early. They did this like fucking over 13 years ago. And right whenever high-speed internet was starting to get important. Yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And so they just fucking made high-speed gigabit free internet for everybody. And the fucking cable companies saw this and freaked the fuck out. They freaked the fuck out, and they went on a national campaign to buy off politicians in every city to make it so it's illegal. Like, they wrote it into the fucking city laws to even think about doing that ever. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of shit. That's not capitalism. You know what I'm saying? That's crony cap. It's completely, that's not competition. They're not competing for the, they sued the city. Yeah. No, they tried to stop it in Chattanooga, but they couldn't because everyone loved it so much. And by the way, the economic growth of Chattanooga after that internet installation has been massive. It is like a bright spot in the whole state. People have a better quality of life. There are more startups there. There are more jobs there. It has tons of knock-on positive effects. Another great example of back in like the fucking 30s is maybe the 20s. Electricity. A lot of parts of the country didn't have electricity, or they didn't have like consistent electricity. And the electricity companies were like, it's too expensive to go to like the rural areas and wire them up. We're not going to do it. We don't want to do it. And so there was a government mandate that just did it. The government spent the money, they spent tax money on the people, just went and wired up everybody up, electrified the whole country. And the knock-on positive effects were massive economic growth. It worked super well. They took the tax money, they used it on the citizens of the country, everyone benefited. And instead now it would be, oh, my food's here. Instead now they would get blocked by the companies, who would then get a fat government contract and spend 10 years slowly rolling it out poorly. Please answer, if Jeff Bezos shot 30 child, would he get away with it? No, I don't think so. No. You know my answer? I don't think he would get away with shooting 30 children. No. It depends on what the fact that I have to say it depends is sad. If it was like allegedly, you know, like if he did do it, but we didn't have the evidence, he could bog that down in the courts. If he goes on live TV and shoots 30 kids in the head, yeah, no, they'll get him. And I don't think that's crazy. Because you know what? Because the reason why is not because of like justice. It's because the anger at him for doing that would make other rich people nervous. And so they would conspire to get him arrested. So they wouldn't have to deal with any kind of revolt. Even if they caught him in 4K, I could get him out of it. Who dat? You think you could get Jeff Bezos off? If there was a 4K video of Jeff Bezos shooting 30 children, you would take that client, who dat, and you think you could get him off. It was an accident. Self-defense. Self-defense is really funny.